Hey guys, what it is, it's yo girl Cadillac. Hi, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I am the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that's rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. So I'm coming through on today, February. It is February the 18th, girl. Sorry for the shakage. But yeah, it's February 18th. I am coming through in the 2 o'clock hour. I am very soon have to prepare to go to work. Yes, girl, that is my life. Work is my life. Like for real. But I did get out my throwback Thursday in the middle of the night. So my plan did go as planned yesterday. I told y'all how I was going to set it up. I wanted to hurry up and record. I got it recorded. Girl, I made it to work by the skin of my teeth, just like every day. Every day your girl be running, footing it to hit the clock on time. But I made it, girl, and I got my little video out. But see, that's the whole point. It's like I don't necessarily want to run and rush and rip and run, but the only way to, focus on the passions in my life, my art career, my fighting for justice and all of that, to be able to do that and also balance a job. That's how I have to do it. I have to squeeze my stuff in around a 9 to 5 and opening, closing all over the place. Don't know if you're working in morning or evening. So it does make it quite difficult to keep up with what I really want to do in my life versus what I have to do. So I am coming through before work again. Hopefully, girl. Okay, so I do have a couple hours, so I hope I'm not going to be pushing it. But just as before, I'm going to upload it and then I have to edit it. And I'm getting good at saying edit it. Yes, I said it again. Right, like the right way. I always mess that word up. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to upload it. And when I get off from work, like it's gonna be almost 2 a.m. Then I could quickly, try to edit the video and then export it and upload it while I'm asleep again. That's how I try to do that. But today I want to give you, this is going to be somewhat like a flashback. So we can, today is Flashback Friday, but it won't be out till Sockington Saturday. Good. Because you see how my life is set up. But I just wanted to show you guys this email that I had got from my mother. Like, this is an old, my mother has passed away. Ooh, and there's a whole injustice behind, her death as well. Healthcare for us sometimes is not the best care. And baby, like sometimes we get the least care, in our communities, which really freaking sucks because, though they just seen her as another black woman, like my mother was phenomenal. Like phenomenal. If you can get past that 1/4 inch of skin that is colored differently, just that much is different between us. It's just that outside layer. But if you go down a 1/4 inch deep into my skin and your skin, we actually are the same. Very similar. Same type of makeup and all of that. You know what I'm saying? We got muscles, we got tissue just like you. We got, but we're that 1/4 inch of thickness, like Joel Osteen says, is what makes differences between us. But yeah, I will tell that story soon. I kind of touched on it, but I believe that, there's so much more that should have been done for my mother, and my mother should still be here. But this is the world that we live in. And I know that I can't change the world, but I can attempt to try. And I have been fighting since I was about 20 years old, fighting for justice. Not only just for my husband who is wrongfully convicted, but us as a whole. Like, we're treated as though we are beneath. We're constantly dealing with oppression. And even when you want to forget, race, you can't, because it's clearly always in your face. You're black, you're black, you're a female, you're black female, and you know, unfortunately. So yeah, so when all that changes, baby, I could stop talking about it because people want to know why I talk about it so much. But when the ways of this world change, then I can stop talking about that. Guys, I could talk to you about art. That's my passion. I could talk to you about designing something. That's my passion. But before I can get to that, I need to be equal. Like that comes first. So once y'all fix all that chaos going on in the world like that, then I could focus in on being an artist. Until then, I'm going to have to tell my stories. I'm going to have to fight. You know, what else can we do but fight? Okay. So my mother, I'm sorry to get off on that tangent, but you know, I really believe because she was a black female, she did not get the correct care that she should have gotten. But it was a email that she sent me years ago. This was a long time ago. Um, when I was either pregnant with my daughter or I just had my daughter, and she sent it through AOL. So you know this is old, girl. I don't have the original email, which I might have it somewhere. But she had printed it out. Did she either I think she printed it too, but then she also emailed it to me. But back then, yo, girl, I was so far behind, like in technology. I ain't know nothing about none of that. I didn't have an email or nothing back in like year 2001. No, I didn't have no email. I must have had some type of email, maybe a school email. So I don't know how she sent it to me, but she did, and she printed it. And I really that email touched me so much that I illustrated it. So I just want to show it to you guys. I found it when I was on my scavenger hunt for my Throwback Thursday video, Lauren Hill. I told y'all how long it took me to gather my content, and Facebook blocked me because it said I was thumbing through too long, like going too going through too fast through the pictures. And I'm like, they're my own pictures. Like, what type of research are you doing? This is my account. Why would you block me from my own account? Or if that's the case, make a better way for me to find my old pictures. Like, for real. Come on now. It should be a search bar where I can search for a picture, like, you know, something like that, or a date or a range of pictures. Maybe that would help. Like, come on now. Oh, that's the little web design coming in. That's my little web designer coming through. Yes, you are not that like it's supposed to be user friendly. Like, girl, that was not friendly to the user. Like, not at all. But let me get into reading this email, and I'm going to show you the frames of that I illustrated to go with it. So here we are. This is the first frame. Okay, I'm going to read it. This is an email my mom sent me. I decided to illustrate it. The Lord came to this man one day and commented to him to push this rock. This rock was huge. He kind of questioned whether he could push the rock because it's large size. Girl, I didn't like that. Let me get more into my little creative voice. Okay, here it is. Take two. The Lord came to this man one day and commanded him to push this rock. This rock was huge. He kind of questioned whether he could push the rock because of its large size. And you see, I illustrated the big, huge. It's like a boulder. Like, this is not just a rock, it's a boulder. It's huge. And the man is like kind of pushing it, seeing, like, getting his footing, seeing if he can push it. You do see that I created this on January the 29th of 2014. Yes. Okay, so let's go to the second one. Somebody commented that's the way I described my last marriage. I felt like my ex was maybe she was about to say a big boulder. You can't see it. Okay. So here's the second frame. Despite the challenge at hand, the man was obedient. He pushed the rock with all his might. Sunrise to sunset, he pushed this huge rock, and yet it didn't budge. Every day that passed, the man would spend it pushing against this rock. Still, the rock never moved, not even 1 centimeter. The man began to get discouraged. Girl, does that not sound like me pushing this big rock, this huge rock, a boulder of injustice? And though from sunrise to sunset, I push, and yet the boulder does not move, not even 1 centimeter. Girl, yes. And in the illustration, you see now the man done changed a little position, and like, maybe I need to get my back into this. Like, I need to try harder. And for me, that's what I do. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm not reaching out to the right people. Maybe I need to refocus or recenter. But I'm trying to get my footing to push this boulder of injustice out of our lives. Okay, so let me go to the last frame. So here's the last part. Now the man has changed. Like, he's like, okay, put my back into it is not working. You know, them legs are strong. Let's put my legs, my hands, and I'm going to push this boulder. I'm using everything. Legs referring to maybe all my talents. I'm using my art. I'm using my voice. I'm using my rap. I'm using my poetry. I'm using my connections. I'm doing everything, even my hair with the hairpiece. I'm doing everything. I'm using every part of my body, my being, to push this boulder of injustice. Yes, to push it out of my life. I don't want it anymore. I don't want this dark cloud over me. I want to have my family like everybody else has their family. And I want to go and take several seats. Yes, and design some stuff. Like, girl, that's what I want life to be about. Not fighting a wrongful conviction for over 20 years and not making a leeway in any type of, form. Like, okay, so let me get to the reading of it. The Lord saw the man's disappointment. The man said, Lord, you told me to push this rock. And no matter how hard I try and how hard I push, it doesn't move. The Lord responded, I told you to push the rock, and you did just as I said. The man interrupts, but I wasn't able to move it. The Lord responds to the man by saying, I told you to push the rock. I never told you to move it, girl. That's my job, to move the rock. The man asked, so what was the point I spent from sun up to sundown pushing this rock that I couldn't move? And I questioned so much. Why did I even create this project Reach the World? I always felt like I didn't know what I was doing. Like, it was just something that was coming, like kind of formulating and coming together on its own. It was different situation and different things that kind of like basically Project Reach the World grew on its own. I didn't sit down and have a plan. Hey, this is how I'm going to get, the story of Marcello Jackson out. No, it just started formulating. I just started drawing. Then drawing turned into me just started meeting people and just meeting more and more people. And then me making hair pieces and just being all over the internet and being everywhere, being captured everywhere. My image being captured all over the world. Now, I was prophesized one time by this lady that she said that it was a lady that worked with me at the super center. Now, that lady turned out to be we're not going to get into that now, but she said that I would be a leader of women, and that also another guy was saying that he seen my drawings being seen all over the world. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Nobody cares about my art. Like, I've never been able to make my artwork, like, ever, in any form, fashion. I would sell a piece of art far and few in between, nothing that I can even pay a Netflix account off on. Like, girl, no. I couldn't even pay toll with what I make with, my art. So for you to tell me that it's going to be seen all over the world, and then also for you to tell me that I'm going to be a leader of women. Number one, I was shy. I still am. I am shy. I'm introverted. I am a loner. I'm quiet. Like, all of those are not characteristics of leaders and leadership. So how could I possibly be a leader of women? And I didn't even see that in myself until later. People started telling me that they actually, it was one time I was at a job, and it was this younger girl, and she was like, "You are my role model." And I'm like, why? She was like, "Girl, every time I see you, you are running to work." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm tired of running. My calves be feeling like they're gonna pop. I don't want to run. I'm too old to run." Like, girl. And she's like, "No, I see you. You on your breaks, you got your laptop out, you got your school books, you leaving work, you running, getting dressed in the break, not the break room, in the little we had like a locker room. You're in the locker room, you're changing your clothes, you're running to work, then we see you running back to school and this and that." She said, "You are my role model, and you are raising a child. You're my role model." And I'm like, wow, you know. So it's crazy. Okay, getting back to this. I never told you to move it. That is my job, to move the rock. This man asked, "So what was the point that I spent all day from sunup to sundown pushing this rock?" Ugh, I feel like that. I couldn't move. I have been literally fighting a battle that it feels like I can't win. It's really feeling like, you know, sorry he had to do 20 years unjustly, but the only way you guys are going to get through this is for him to figure out how to do the rest of those 20 years. That's what it really feels like, because everything I've done has failed. And it's not like I'm a failure of one time. Like most people say, yeah, get back up and try again. I failed once, twice, three times, four times, five. I've failed so many times. And I get back up. And I'm like, well, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I got to reformulate it. Maybe I didn't. And it gets to the point where you're like, you see that you tried and failed, to where you feel like if you try again, it's going to fail. It feels like it's just a repeated pattern. No matter how you try, you're going to fail. So you start feeling like before you even attempt that you're going to fail. And people just don't understand. Like, they'll just tell me that I'm negative. Like, I'm the furthest thing you can find from being negative. Like, how could I be negative if I have tried so much in my life? A negative person does not put effort or try anything before they may want to do something, but they'll say, "Oh, that'll never work," so they won't even try it. I cannot be negative. All the stuff, all the times I've stepped out on faith and tried and did it and put my all behind it and just knew that one day it was going to come together, that could not be negative. And even once you fail, I never stayed down. I always got back up and tried again. Tried again. But yet people call me negative. The reason it's not working is because you're so negative. Like, oh, when people tell me that, I be wanting to slap them. Like, Please listen to the words that are really coming out of my mouth. Please actually analyze and watch and look at me. I could not be negative if I continue to get up and fight. A negative person is not going to do that. Okay. Okay, I spent all day from sunup to sundown pushing this rock. I couldn't move. The Lord responds again. Look at how strong your legs are now. Woo, did we look at it that way? They're almost unshakable. Your back is now stronger than it has ever been. Your back, okay, your arms are now able to put up a fight like never before. And not to mention the golden glowing tan that you have from being in the sun all day. So the struggle was not really to win the battle, but it was to build you. Okay, so let me flip this. I got to talk to myself. So this endless battle that I've been in, struggle, fight of my life that I just want to end. I want the referee to cut. I want the curtain to close. I want it to be over. I'm tired. I'm battle fatigued. But the battle was never for me to win. I was never expected to win the battle. The battle was to make me stronger. All right, guys, I'm about to run out of time. But anyways,